Hello, everyone. Nice to see you. And today we have the chance to speak to various artists from around the world. And the first one is a couple, Yulia Batyrova&Marat Mukhametov. So now it's time to start from this couple that works together from since a long time. And actually they are Russian, but they are set in France. And so they are connected also with this western part of Europe. But their work is very interesting because with the use of porcelain, and especially with the technique that resemble the lightness of something very, very on the air, which is just moving around in the air, they can do what seems quite impossible. So all the sculpture have something moving on around in the air. Anyway, just from this little glimpse of your work, we can see that you work also with the texture and what is really the skin of this porcelain. These little pieces cut together, but that have a strength enough to stay and move around just as they are floating or something like that. So very stunning pieces, let me tell you.
Thank you. In fact, with the point we were going to start is that this is our first piece we made in this way of making when we attach porcelain elements on the non-fired body, and everything is fixed somehow to the concrete, not fixed but linked even to the concrete, as we will see later. And this is the very, very first one from the 2020, from the COVID era, when we started making it this way.
Together.
Yes. And this is our first one we made together. So do we have the pictures?
I don't know. I still see it vertically. Well, I think that you should start, and in fact, I'll try to speak with Stefania meanwhile.
Okay.
So do we start? So just let's ask everybody to imagine it's
in the right way.
Imagine it in the right way. Now it's like horizontal, it should be vertical. So yeah, we see our works, in fact, as you said, as the motion of multiple elements that are changing constantly their shape. When we have these static sculptures, the shape that is static, but we see endless motion behind it. And in fact, we think that only this motion that is truly real. And as we spent a lot of time in the forests, we learn about nature. We're trying to learn about nature not only through observation, but also through imagination, and trying to transfer the impulse of the motion, of the endless motion from nature to our forms. So yeah, the next one is the sculpture from the bird series. Please say the next one. Yes.
Mm-hmm. This piece was selected for the Taiwan Biennale in 2023, ended up winning bronze. So the starting point for this piece was a dead bird we found in the woods. The wings were twisted in this strange, unnatural, almost sculptural way, and the shape it created had an expected kind of beauty, and it inspired us for the first sketches for this piece. And we wanted to say that in nature, death isn't really an end. It becomes part of something else. Matter keeps moving, shifting from one state to another, and it's not about eternal life. It's about more that death doesn't exist truly. So that sense of transformation, of constant change, is something we can come back to a lot in our work. You can see it in
Just
the next-
like in the next work we wanted to show you. So the next one, please. Yeah. So here it is. Our experiment is: what if concrete became alive and started to grow? If rectangular concrete and a vivid, ever-changing porcelain bodies are parts of a whole and all gray in addition. This work is our attempt, in fact, to combine the pouring concrete into the mold, the basic building construction technique, with our favorite material, which is porcelain, of course. Yeah, and the next one.
So
Название скажи только.
this title of this piece is Never Gonna Snow Again. And in 2024, we moved to France, to the mountain region of the Vosges. And people here say it used to be a snowy place, but it hasn't been covered in snow for the past 2 years because of the global warming. When winter are too warm, the beetles in the trees don't go to sleep like they're supposed to, and so they just keep eating, and that makes trees really vulnerable. And we saw so many of them dying, and it's honestly a heartbreaking sight. And it makes us wonder, what if it will never gonna snow again, and those dead trees feel like a warning. And the porcelain is always our starting point, our go-to material, but we also love to experimenting with other mediums. And in this piece we used a special fabric to bring that feeling of frosty air, like the pattern of the frozen windows, to push that snow-like effect, icy atmosphere even further. We added a new element made from a mix of porcelain and paper. So you see, it looks like the snowflakes or something like
crystals.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the next one. Next, please. Okay, right here, the work that is called Water Was Here. This is our just one of the freshest works. When we started to play with the silicone, we imagine, in fact, how the water is leaving something, is leaving the place, and leaving only a shell, like a cast from a past life. You can see it like dissolving in the air, drop by drop. And we love how the combination of silicone and porcelain makes the work feel more alive, and it is also much more, gives so much fun to make. And the next one is the one that we are going to present at Faenza prize.
So finally, the piece that was selected for the competition. Thank you again. This work is also the result of our forest walks and observation, an attempt to understand nature in a more instinctive way, to connect to the process of formation, to know it through our own imagination. It was also the first time we experimented with silicone. Combined with porcelain, it gave the work a more organic, almost vulnerable feel, like it's somehow alive and maybe a little playful, because the material remains mobile and it reacts to any movement. You will see it at the exhibition. So
yeah, it catches really every movement, every vibration. So yeah, this is really funny and we love it very much. So this is it. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Yulia. Thank you, Marat. Sorry for the inconvenience of seeing your pieces on the edge, on the other edge, let's say. But it will be better to see live on the opening, and hope to see you also in that event. And thank you for connecting so much with nature, but also with the use of different materials, and also with the idea to represent something and also to tell something that deals with human nature. For example, the use of the concrete or silicone or something unexpected. The fact that, for example, in the pieces you presented, those things are moving is something that obviously will keep everyone will keep an eye on it. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Anyway,
thank you.
Hope to see you in June, and now it's time for the next artist, who Shikai is from Taiwan, and he sent us a video for his presentation, and I think that we can go on with this work, since he's mainly known for his craftsmanship and the use all this idea of a tradition connected with the teaware. And here we are.
I graduated from Nanjing University of Arts with bachelor's and master's degrees. My academic focus was on ceramic art design. Currently, I teach at a university. I enjoy creating pottery and find the process very fulfilling. Many of my works focus on expressing the beauty of clay, which is unique to ceramics and genuinely captivating. My works emphasize meticulous form and shape aesthetics, while considering how compositional elements affect the visual impact. This emphasis on composition gives the works a modern feel, making them highly directive and expressive. Over the years, I have used various forming techniques, but recently, I mainly combined mold forming with hand forming to create my pieces. This method has become a habit in my creative process, and I plan to continue using it. Of course, I also employ other forming methods depending on the characteristics of what I want to express. I place great importance on the aesthetic quality of form. I believe this is an essential aspect of being an excellent artist. Even conceptually strong or experimental works need a certain form to manifest, and I think a harmonious and beautiful form often holds broader significance. Now, I will showcase some of my works for everyone to watch. The piece I have been selected to exhibit at the Faenza Ceramic Art Exhibition is titled A New Form with Meaning. Inspired by teapots, this series, however, completely abandons the traditional functional aspects of teapots. The material used is clay from ancient China. The work exploits various tubular and curve-like forms as creative elements, utilizing free combinations of points, lengths, surface, and volumes as a formal language, while also highlighting the beauty of clay. The result is a strong modern aesthetic, representing and intriguing exploration of new forms. Finally, I extend my heartfelt thanks to the organizers and all the staff at Faenza for their hard work. Thank you all.
So thank you, Lishai, for the presentation. It was very quick and a lot of stuff passed through our eyes in front of us. But the meaning and the idea of using different technique and connecting with the tradition on one hand, and moving forward with the new meaning of some work, it's very stunning. And so the non-functional pieces just resemble a series of people, series of elements, and can remind us of a lot of different meaning. Again, we move to another artist. Now we're gonna speak with Rūta Šipalytė from Lithuania. Hello, Rūta.
Hello,
Rūta has
Marco.
got a degree in design, and she's also connected with this idea of drawing the pieces, and the shape that she resembles also have this interconnection between lines, grids, and space, negative space also, and everything has a little, even a little space in between one piece and another, a little spot, a little line can remind of something in particular. So now the board is yours.
Thank you. So I'm Rūta Šipalytė from Lithuania, and first of all, I would like to thank all the organizers of Faenza Award competition and talks, and express my gratitude and happiness for being selected for the 63rd edition. So yes, I graduated from Vilnius Academy of Arts ceramics department in 1998 with a master degree. And currently I teach in the same academy, holding the position of associate professor. Before I begin talking about my selected artwork, I'd like briefly mention that I grew up in a family of architects, and my initial dream was to study architecture. However, due to certain circumstances, I changed my path and decided to study ceramics instead. Perhaps this helps explain why my ceramics works are deeply connected to the themes of construction, architecture, and feeling of home. So I would like to begin my presentation with a short 2-minute video from my 2018 solo exhibition, Cities Traveling Homes. A video, please. The project Cities Traveling Homes is a reflection of my thoughts of home, culture, and national identity as a Lithuanian citizen in a globalizing world. As distances shrink and our places of residence continually change, this piece explores the inner homes I carry within me, those emotional and cultural spaces that remain constant as I travel and create abroad. Whenever I arrive in a new geography, society, or culture, it's important for me to stay connected to the home of my heart. This connection helps me embrace new experiences while staying true to my roots and authenticity. One of the visual expressions of the inner homes is the image of Rū flower that appears on the elements of the compositions. Rūta in Lithuanian, is deeply significant symbol of purity and femininity in my native traditional culture. It is also my name, Rūta. The second slide, please. Next. Yes, thank you. So the artwork selected for the 63rd Faenza Award competition is from the series Silicon Homes, which I began in 2020. With the first piece from this series, next slide, please. This is the first piece from the series. I won the first place, Professor Liudvikas Troli's prize at the 6th Vilnius Ceramic Biennial in Lithuania. As a part of award, I was offered to hold the solo exhibition during next biennial, and I organized the solo show titled Isles of Experiences. It was retrospective and included my latest Silicon Homes collection. Next, please. So this is the view from the exhibition. The main idea behind this series is that the fundamental elements of ceramics, both clay and glaze, are composed of silicon compounds. Meanwhile, the modern world is increasingly migrating into virtual space using devices built on semiconductors made from the same element, silicon. These complex silicon structures become homes for both our physical bodies and our virtual representations in the global ether. Next, please. The objects and compositions from the series have been exhibited in various shows. This artwork was displayed in Baltic Contemporary Ceramics Group exhibition Connections during the Argilla Italia Ceramic Festival in Faenza in 2024. Next, please. This artwork was shown at the 4th Latvian International Ceramics Biennial at the Mark Rothko Art Center in Daugavpils in 2023. Next, please. This artwork from the same series is in my studio right now. And next, please. And finally, this is the artwork, Silicon Homes 4 and 5, which is selected for the 63rd Premio Faenza competition. And the next, please. This is the alternative arrangement of the composition. And next, please. And next few slides will illustrate how objects from the Silicon Home series were recomposed in other projects. So here you see the installation titled Silicon Homes Day, was created for interdisciplinary group exhibition Sueten in Gallery Arka in Vilnius in Lithuania 2023. Next, please. These are some details from the exhibition. And next, please. And here is my latest artwork from the series Silicon Homes, and it's titled Plugged In. It was made specially and shown in the group exhibition in Japan, exhibition Sueten GP Synergy in NIAF Art Center, Nishiaizu, at the end of 2024, beginning of 2025. Next, please. And here are some extra images of that composition. Next, please. And next, please. Some details. So that's it. Thank you for the attention.
Thank you, Rūta. Thank you very much for your presentation.
Thank you.
It's very stunning to see everything arranged in different sets. Even the shapes are all together, and we can spot this idea, this architectural roots that also is connected with the nature, because sometimes we can see some leaves again or some other stuff. But it's interesting to hear also from your point of view this idea of the silicon homes, so this material which somehow is connected with our lives. Yeah. Thank you again. Hope to see you in Faenza in June. So let's talk with another artist, and now it's time to speak with Pim Sudhikam from Thailand. Hello.
Hello everybody. Thank you for having me today. You hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you very clear, okay. And we can also say a few words about you, because you have a very huge experience, a lot of different exhibitions, solo show around the world. So, and your ideas have obviously reflect as many artists in these difficult times, let's say, are a reflection of what is the effort of the humanity with the nature, or to control somehow the nature. But in the end, nature is always the winner somehow, because you can build everything, but time passing and what is the perfection that we appeal to, that we try to reach, somehow it will be always eroded maybe, or somehow consumed by nature. And that's one of the main points. But the board is yours, so let's see what you've done and what you will present in the Faenza Premio.
Thank you very much. So hello everybody, my name is Pim Sudhikam from Thailand. I live and work in Bangkok. Next, please. My body of work ranges from pottery, object, sculpture, public art, art installation, and many things. This is a capture from my website. Next, please. The work on the left was made in 2013, called Domestic Wear. The work composed of two different parts. One part, the white parts are made from porcelain, and the darker part is the stoneware. And I combine them when I have a ready-made porcelain already fired together with the fresh stoneware clay. So of course, we know that the difference of the stages and the characteristic of the work kind of fighting and get some tension, and the crack are intended. And then the piece is fired in the wood firing kiln, that the ash in the atmosphere give them, like glue them more permanently. While the work on the right side is called Breccia, made in 2019. Breccia is the name of a rock in that exists in nature. I name it this way because I was playing or exploring with some firing effects that I could get from electric kiln, and the result, it looks like a new kind of rock, or metaphoric rock. So I named the work Breccia. Next, please. Last year, I participated in the Bangkok Art Biennale. And so I wanted to do something very directly about Bangkok. So I went around and find the clay that is workable, like earthenware clay in Bangkok area, which is now becoming urban, and you cannot really find a piece of land that easily. But I went to this construction sites and ask for the clay, for example, from the underground train constructions like that. And clay, I have a very good earthenware clay that is workable and made into this series of work. Here you can see different shade of colors because I got from various places, and also I find them at a different temperature to render the beauty of the clay. And from this work, at the end of working on this work, I have some pieces that I find a little bit too high, but I kind of like the effect very much. So next, please. I toy with the idea of firing this earthenware part to the very over the limit of the clay character, or how the clay can melt. And you can see in this series, the Remnant series is composed of also two parts, very similar idea coming back from my older work. But in this case, I combine the stoneware part together with the earthenware part. And I find to the stoneware temperature, and so the earthenware part already starting to move and collapse, or deteriorating. And in the same series, I have another work that was selected for Faenza work. Next, please. This is the work selected for Faenza Prize. So the earthenware part already moving and melting, and this is the transformation that I want to say about the manufacturing form or man-made form undergo the natural process. Very at the end, the nature kind of wins or have some bigger force than ourselves. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Pim. Thank you for your presentation. It was very clear, and it was very interesting to see the different approaches you had in action, the use of different type of clay, of different type of things, let's say, melt together by the kiln, and in the end, this big help that you had from the kiln because of something that you can control, but somehow it helps also to give this texture, the surface, and the final touch, let's say, to your artworks. So thank you very much for being with us. Stay for a little more, just if you have, if there will be some question about your work. And next artist we're gonna talk to is Hajnalka Tarr. It's from Hungary. Hello, Hajnalka.
Nice to meet you. Okay.
Okay. Hello. It's something very. I hope everything is okay, and you have an approach that somehow was defined as conceptual and or neo-conceptual. dealing with the environment and also with the idea of painting, because you started from a different type of art. So you enter the wild world of clay somehow.
Yeah,
And
thank
so
you.
that's another important starting point. So let's talk about your artworks, and the board is yours.
Okay, thank you very much. And I'm very surprised and very thankful for being selected to the Faenza Prize. As I said, I was born in Budapest, Hungary, and I still live and work here. I originally studied printmaking, then graduated in painting at the Hungarian Fine Arts University, but actually I never painted in my life. I've been working as an artist and doing concept-based works for over 20 years, and I always experiment with different media. In my creations, I explore the fragmentation and continuous change found in reality. Often my pieces involve long meditative processes in which I build a larger form from repetitive elements. We tend to see the world as and its phenomena as very fixed and unchanging. However, I instinctively try to break these solid outlines almost to the point of falling apart. Can it be a thought, an identity, a body, or matter? And I'm especially interested in the fragmented yet still unified state of things. I want to show the character of change and instability on a physical level, while the artwork itself appears stable. So as I've been doing different things, I will show not ceramics right now from my past. So first work, it's not the first, it's the present, it is the last. Can we go back, more? Yes. So it's called, the title is Attachment, and it's 2008. In this project, I attached together 700,000 paper clips with psychiatric patients, most of them diagnosed with schizophrenia, over the course of 1 month. The result was 250 kilogram curtain-like moving metal wall that divided the exhibition space. With this project, I wanted to reflect on the inner walls that can form within a person due to mental condition like paranoia, neurosis, and fear, and that can be just as solid as any physical barrier. Next one, please. According to taste, this piece is Botticelli, Birth of Venus. It belongs to the Ludwig Museum's permanent collection. In this work, I use puzzle images of 14 world-famous paintings, combining them to create a new image in a random arrangement. I stapled these puzzle pieces onto plywood boards. For each painting, I used as many boxes of its puzzle as necessary to cover a board equivalent in size to the original artwork. My starting idea was that if we consider something to be 100% art, even for centuries, then every piece of it must also be art. But is that really true? What happens if I mix the particles of it however I want? Next one, please. Okay. Object relation, it's from 2018. This series is a photography project in which I use photos of myself holding both geometrical and organic objects. I studied the question of identity. Depending on which object I hold or what I focus on, my identity or self-image keeps changing. No, I'm a person holding a square. No, I'm a person holding a plant. I waved these 12 images into each other by hand. I got 64 variations of in-between self-images. Okay, next one. Next one. Okay. In vitro series. It's I continued the grid-like waving idea into other projects too. In the in vitro, I glued photographs onto glass, then I cut the glass and photo and rearranged them according to a specific mathematical rule. Using 9, 16, 25, etc. pieces of the same image to form a whole new one. So the same picture exists next to itself, still it becomes 9 or 16 times bigger at the same time. This way I create a sort of mosaic where the fragmentation and unity appear together. Okay, and now the next one, please. So yeah, this white one is my last piece. I just finished it last week. And these works from the last year, I exhibited them in the also the Ludwig Museum, Budapest. So I started working with ceramics about not even a year and a half ago. So I'm quite new in this field. I learned how to throw waste forms on the pottery wheel. Then I add structures that change the waste basic image and definition while it still stays in its waste function. So the white one is also a waste. There is a waste body in the white work too. 3 years ago, I became a mother, and my former conceptual method turned into a more instinctive process because the flow of my life left less time for long theoretical planning. I simply can't think anymore. And so I turned into a more instinct process, and I find the clay and the wheeling what I just love to do. So I see these ways as self-portraits, the motherly instinct and care always operate in me, while many different mental states and emotions appear. I wanted to make vases which kind of forget that they are basically vases. They become small installations, they move from their central place, they are in action. So this is a few ways what I did, and the piece what was selected, next one, please. Yeah, so this one. The title is Diary of a Vase, Day 6, Levitation. This ceramic piece was fired at a low temperature, but I used both high and low fire glazes. I tried to capture the moment of explosion or before the explosion, when the object lifts off the ground and opens itself to the force pulling it up, when the exposition is still just a promise and a possibility. I think both positive and negative emotions can make us feel excited and also out of control. Losing these self-bond barriers can be scary, but it can also feel cathartic, like escaping from everyday logic. In this work, I wanted to bring the vase to the point of levitation and the glaze to its boiling state, then freeze that moment, like holding onto a burst of energy. That's it.
Okay, thank you, Hajnalka. Thank you for your presentation. It was very clear, and we had the chance also to see where your background comes and the different approaches you had. You still have, obviously, but you had in the past with different materials and different type of art. So this idea of repetition of something that is divided and then again added with new meaning, and also this particular attitude you have towards ceramic that is connected probably also, as you told us, with this new event in your life. So this the fact that you have to deal with the material, you can deal with the material that leave your thoughts quite free to move on. But again, the piece you presented for the 63rd Faenza Prize, it's very stunning for this, especially for this levitation. You already said it, but it's very clear and very close to perfection. We can also spot some drop that are coming from the glaze that are really on the edge of coming down or moving around, let's say. And it's a very stunning piece. So thank you again for being stay with us, and
Thank you very much.
obviously we hope to see you in June in Faenza.
Yeah, we come. Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's move on, and we have the chance now to speak with Heidi Tarver. Okay, we are ready, and we have the chance to speak with an artist who studied ceramic, and also had the chance to study it with in his family, let's say, with his father. But in the end, what we are recognizing now is the last work, the work of the last years, and this particular technique that she used to cover and to fix some pattern on the surface of her works, and also some irony, because the serious that she presented, she's losing her marbles, is somehow funny in a way. But let's hear directly from Heidi what is going on. So Heidi, the board is yours.
Thank you, Marco, and thanks to the museum and the organizers and the jury of the Premio Faenza for this opportunity to present my work today and to be in the exhibition. I'm really honored to have been selected by the jury and to be exhibiting with such amazingly talented and accomplished artists. It's been delightful to listen to the talks of all the people who are participating, and I'm just sort of stunned by everybody's work. A quick introduction. I'm based in the United States, in California, and my work is both deeply personal and also an expression of my thoughts and feelings regarding the social, cultural, and political moment in which I find myself. My country is going through a particularly grievous and scary time at the moment. And as you will see, my work reflects this rather unstable reality that we're living through. Next slide, please. So I want to talk a little bit about my approach to working with clay. I've been attracted to and engaged with geometric patterns since I was a small child. And in my ceramic practice, each of my works begins with the development of a geometric pattern. I create my patterns on the computer using Adobe Illustrator, and I design them, and then they're separated into layers, and each layer is laser cut into a stencil, which is used to create the layers of color on the surface of my pieces. As I'm working with pattern on the computer, I'm always imagining how I might take that pattern and project it into 3 dimensions. And in other words, how that pattern might take form as an object in the world. And for example, in this piece, some of the pattern elements inform the overall shape of the vessel. And also it may be hard to see on the slide, but this pattern involves many, many dots, and I reflect the dots in the negative space of the wings. This piece was exhibited last fall in Venice at the Homo Faber exhibition, the Homo Faber Biennale. Next slide, please. So here's a bit more of a close-up of how my process works. On the left is the pattern that I started with, that I developed on the computer. It's printed onto a slab of white stoneware clay. On the right is the vessel that emerged from the pattern. And I use slab construction for all my for most of my work. And as you can see in the image on the right, the black circular motif that's found in the pattern becomes spheres that line the edges of the piece. And the yellow form, the leaf-like form in the pattern is reflected in the overall form of the vessel itself. So that's kind of how my process works in terms of taking a 2D pattern and projecting it into 3 dimensions. Next slide, please. This is a new series that I started at the end of 2024. The name of the series is Year of the Wrecking Ball. And the subtitle for the first 3 pieces, which are pictured in the slide, is Inside Out. In these pieces, I utilize pattern fragments, and I view the fragments as particles of coherence in an otherwise fractured and chaotic environment. These pieces, for me, express the chaos of a disintegrating government structure, and this situation of the wreckage that's being wreaked at a national level and an international level produce in me feelings of anxiety, queasiness, horror, and these spill out of the object as tendrils that are creeping from the pores of these objects. This is an ongoing series, more coming. Next slide, please. So this piece is from my ongoing series, She's Losing Her Marbles. This series, I started this series in 2023 as a meditation on the aging of the human body. I just turned 70 last year, so I was coming up on my 70th birthday, and I was thinking a lot about aging. That's where the series began. For me, the vessel form is an ideal metaphor for the human body, in particular for the fragility, but also the resilience of our human form. And in this piece, which is called Supplication, I was thinking about and responding to the impact of time on all of us. The open vessel form expresses the vulnerability and evanescence of our corporeal existence, but it also references the precariousness regarding everything from personal mental health to planetary survival of our current moment in time. Next slide, please. This is another vessel from the same series, but this one was created in late 2024 after our most recent presidential election. And this one is entitled Eruption, and it moves from the emotional register of the last piece that I showed you of grief toward something that feels more like anger and fear. The shape, the sharp edges of the shape, the pointy motif, and the creeping kind of dinginess of the pattern, and the more closed form, all represent my emotional response to the accelerated deterioration of democratic norms in my country. There's lots to lose one's marbles about these days. Next slide, please. Finally, this is the piece that was selected by the jury for the 63rd Premio Faenza exhibition. The title of this one is Winter is Coming, and it references the American television series Game of Thrones in particular. In that series, the series is set in a fictional land of Westeros, and Game of Thrones depicts the intense and bloody struggle for power among various ruling families. But it also, in a different plot line, depicts impending winter, and with it, the arrival of the White Walkers, who are a supernatural and profoundly evil threat to all humankind. So in this work, Winter is Coming, the cold colors, the green, the blue, and the black of the shield pattern on the surface contrast dramatically with the small red spheres that are bubbling up from the interior of the piece like drops of blood or tiny calls for help. This piece is, for me, above all else, about the anxiety and apprehension that I feel in the face of the fascist movement, which is steamrolling across my country. That's all. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you so much, Heidi. Thank you for your time and your clear explanation about your works, about your this idea of resembling what is going on in your country, but somehow it's going on even in the old continent. And
Yeah.
but let's not talk about politics now. And just to be clear about your work, we appreciate also this idea that from something, a vase, which is obviously something very from the archaic world on one end, but the pattern that you use that resemble pattern from different culture, different time, and somehow they have this meaning, this connection with the present times, and this different and difficult present time. So in the end, it's one thing that stay on one side, one thing that stay on the other, but we always can keep an eye on what is going on, what is surface, what is on the surface inside the face, for example, and what is moving around with this marble that are on the base, on the side of the base. Thank you again, and thank you, Miss Heidi. And last but not least, here we have another artist, Mr. Andreas Tesch, which is who is Australian, but he was set in Germany since 1918. So after traveling around Europe, 1985. Sorry, 1985.
No, it wasn't 1980.
Yeah.
It's a long time, but not that long.
No, not really. Sorry, Andreas. Anyway, we can also spot some beautiful artworks on your back, and we are very. We really want to hear directly from you what are your different approaches that you had in your life and what you presented for the 63rd Faenza Prize. So the board is yours.
Okay, it's my turn. That's actually, those are the pieces that are going to be shown. The slideshow's going back to front. I'll introduce myself. I'm an Australian that studied ceramics and received a diploma in 1980, and then I travelled and went to Europe, and I've been in Berlin for 40 years, and I've been doing ceramics for 50. My body of work, or the work I do, is hands-on. I make the clay, all the processes, all the slab, and the surface treatments are clay. I don't use glazes. I use engobes, slips. This body of work belongs to future fossils. They're man-made fossils for the future. They reflect where I come from, the heritage, things that I sort of loved. And these pieces are actually for the Faenza show. Do we see the other ones beforehand? Ah, yeah. Okay, now these were pieces this is a studio. I do wall pieces with the horizontal line. The photo beforehand was one where I present them almost like portraits. So they have a horizontal line, 40 by 40, and I do my operations and I create these different things. Some are bold, some are elegant, some are really naughty. A lot of them are quite amusing, and that's sort of an important sort of thing. And I really like that when people observe these pieces individually, they evoke different thoughts, because people say that most of diverse have diverse feelings to the pieces. I really like the fact that people look at the work and see different things. Oh yeah, this is in the studio. Now the other pieces I did were like botanical models. They're about 1 metre, thrown bits on the wheel and then put together. And then I've worked on these sort of, they're called scan. This is a series I started about 10 years ago where you've got a central line, a middle line, and things sort of happen wall hung. And reflections of my heritage, nature, Australian nature. The surface treatments evoke skins or textures of animals or kelp. The pieces I'm showing in Faenza are like kelp that we sort of find on the beach where I grew up. And that sort of yummy, organic thing, thoughts. Does anyone? I'll continue. Well, the pieces behind me, I'm doing a lot of work that hangs on the wall. Scan series where I have the middle line. Now I'm working on the future fossils, the man-made fossils for the future, and I'm going out of the form. The thing that happens around them with those yummy sort of three-dimensional things, and I cover them with the surface treatments are always very sort of burnished. I don't use any glazes. I just sort of I don't sort of weigh the things I do. I just put them in and I have a feeling of it's going to be good, and it's sort of inlay work with the sort of spotty stuff, shaving it back to create skins or emu skins, textural things that I have a close relationship, or my sort of heritage is very important. And what more? Yeah, and things like that. No, all that sort of organic thing, but then sort of set on those sort of blocks that are sort of quite. I do really like the specimen or the species. And I like the pieces are sort of placed on the wall like a lapidarium. My favourite thing when I travel is to look at natural history museums or collections of man-made things or natural objects that sort of do it for me. Should I say more or not? I can't hear.
No, it's okay, and I think we can go back to your pieces. Okay.
No, these are the pieces. These are the pieces that I'm showing, and they have sort of. These are fossils for the future. That's another one, and they're these wall-hung pieces that have work with the space around them as well. These are thrown pieces where I sort of threw bits on the. The only help I have here in the studio is the kiln and the wheel. Sometimes I do all the stuff. I make the clay myself. I don't have any machines. I love making and formulating the clay, doing the slab thing. I don't have rollers or pug mills and stuff. I do it all, and they become really sort of intimate objects through the different processes. And I love the fact that I sort of start them, and when they come out of the kiln, they're finished. I can't, and they're there. I love the process. I love the material. I'm here 7 days a week. I've been doing this for a long time, and I love it more than anything. Love it. That's it.
Thank you, Andreas. Thank you very much. Thank you for your patience, because you had to wait so much, but in the end, we had a chance to meet your works and what are the memories that comes also from your, as you said, from something that you find when you were young, so or moving around during travels when you find something.
No, but they're reflections of my heritage or things around me. Like, of course, I'm influenced by things like whether they're physical things that are going on up here. They're reflections of who I am. But influence and
yes, I just want to add that obviously it's not just a resemblance of nature, and somehow it's always something that
the inspiration or the thoughts behind the work is it's very sort of quite bold and really honest. I don't use effect glazes and things. I cover them in skins and scratch them. They look quite simple, but they're quite elaborate, the construction of them, and doing the layers, and they're all individual pieces that are quite intimate. Well, are very intimate.
Okay, thank you. And yes, as we can see, there is this resemblance of skin and bones and everything that it's very personal.
Well, the dried bones and the textures are honest and sort of natural.
Okay, and that's it for today, but not yet. Thank you very much for explaining all this growing attitude. And here we have all the artists that are still online and want to ask something. Now it's time to do. Even from you, artists, if you have any question, if you want to ask to any other artist something. No one. Everybody's shy. I have Yulia and Marat that want to ask something. Thank you very much. So, please.
I wanted just to say that we are looking forward to see everybody in live this summer.
Amazing works.
Yeah,
Thank you,
amazing
everybody.
works.
It's such an honor to be in such a good company for us.
Looking really through all the talks we saw, we were looking and like wondering what a great company we came to. This is really, we are really happy, and we are looking forward to meet you all, guys.
Thank you very much. It will be a pleasure to meet you and greet you live in Faenza in June, and of course it will be even better to see and eventually talk about your works in front of the works, because obviously seeing the photos it's not the same. Seeing it on the moment, it's something different. Anyway, we also have Liu Shikai who joined us. Hello, Liu. And is there any other question from anyone?
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm very sorry. I missed the time difference. I measured an hour. Actually, I prepared it a long time ago. I didn't see the login page even though it was still early. Excuse me.
No worry, no worry.
Due to my poor English, I recorded a video before this. It's great to hear all the artists share their wonderful works. Thank you very much. Thank you also, host.
Thank you, Liu.
Thank you
very much. So, if there's any other question, I will just thank you everyone for being here together. As I said, we will meet in June, and it will be a pleasure. And I just wanted to remind to everyone that the next talk will be next week, always on Wednesday, 2 p.m. Rome, Italy, as an hour. But there will be a lot of new artists, and we will talk with Lee Kai-wen, Makoto Atori, Yulia Homon, Icaro Maiterena Vallejo, Kitty Kurakorova, Xu Xinyuan, Elina Titane, and Alice Wotton. So thank you again for being here, and see you in June. And to everybody, have a good Easter too. See you. Bye.